Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Okay, so today I'm taking a look at Leatherman Free's new T2 and T4 mini multi-tools. Let's go. Okay, so you can see it comes in a very similar box as Leatherman Free's P series. All right, if you guys want to take a look at the back, retains the same magnetic architecture as this bigger brother, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this box. Let's take these guys out. And they give you this card with each multi-tool, and it kind of goes over how to use everything. All right, so here they are both out of the box. We got the T2 here and the T4. I'm going to go over the differences between both of them. Of course, the T2 only has 8 tools. Its bigger brother has 12 tools. And I want to see if it's worth the extra, what is it, 20 bucks for the extra tools, what the 4 extra tools that this T4 has in it. And you can see they're very, very similar in design. This one's a little more rectangle, and the T2 here kind of has this angled design. All right, so this is considered more of a mini multi-tool, and I was actually excited to pick this up as an EDC knife. When I'm not at work, I don't need my P-Series Leatherman. I can just grab this because it has everything you need on an everyday basis that you don't need for work. You got your classic drop point straight blade. I believe that's 2.2 inches. And it does retain that same magnetic architecture that you saw with the P series. So we have the notches here that is just a quick thumb roll, and we have access to the same exact tools you see in the P series. And I'm going to show you that side by side later on in this video. We got the package opener slash pry tool slash flathead screwdriver, and next to that we have the bottle opener slash Phillips screwdriver, and then we have the extra small flathead with the awl. And then with that magnetic architecture, it's going to have that haptic feedback that Leatherman likes to call it, just because the magnets grab those tools, and it's actually pretty satisfying. All right, so this blade is 2.2 inches long. The weight of this is 3.3 ounces, and the closed length is 3.6 inches. All right, so let's dive in and take a closer look at the T2. So right here, we have a spot for a lanyard. And that's good because out of the box, Leatherman did not include a pocket clip here. With the T4, you're gonna see they did, which is great. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't give it to you, but you can see the spots right there. You can add your own when those become available. But this is what I like. Everything is still one-handed operation, as you saw in the P series, and we have a very convenient locking mechanism right there, so you can just hit it with your thumb and close it, along with every single other tool. It retains that one-handed operation, which I absolutely love with Leatherman Free's new lineup. And it makes a lot of sense with this T2 because everything is on the one side. As you can see, when I flip it to the other side, we have these notches here that act as jimping for this blade. And I absolutely love that because when this blade is deployed, you have a lot of control with whatever you're working on. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, I don't feel like my thumb is gonna slip off this top at all because we have this molded plastic here, which is textured, but I can still see my thumb slipping off of it. But once I hit those notches, I'm good, which is a really nice touch. Leatherman put that there. And then, bam. Now, I mentioned before that these tools were the exact same tools as on the P series, and it's true. So we have the T2 here, and then when I take out the exact same prior tool on the P4, you can see there is no difference. They're exactly the same. And we got the same deal with the bottle opener and Phillips screwdriver. Exactly the same. And then lastly, you can see the awl is exactly the same as well, with that extra small screwdriver on the top, which doesn't seem to be very popular with Leatherman purists, and I know that because of my last P4 review that I know you guys are not a big fan of putting a screwdriver on top of the awl instead of having a point. I don't typically use the awl a lot, so that doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers a lot of you. So I'm wondering if they're gonna keep making them with the screwdriver on the top or go back to the classic point on the awls. Now I mentioned that everything is nice and convenient because everything's on the one side with the locking mechanism, because when I move over to the T4, you're gonna see that we got the lock here and then the lock disengage right here on each side. So I'm going to show you why that kind of bugs me a little bit, and I understand why they did it. So the T4 maintains the same closed blade length at 3.6 inches. It has the same blade length at 2.2 inches, but it weighs a little bit more at 4.3 ounces. So it's a little bit heavier, obviously, than the T2 because it has more tools in it. And then boom, thank you Leatherman for actually including the belt clip in the T4. My P4 did not include it. It just has the little lanyard loop right there. So thanks for putting that on the upper model of the T series, which is very appreciated. But here we got the drop point straight blade, and right next to the straight blade we have the prior / medium flathead / package opener. And then right next to that, one of the extra tools actually on the T4 is your metal and wood file right there. But then we have the small flathead on the edge of that, but the length is exactly the same size as on the P series, which is one of my biggest negatives on the P series. I really wish they included a longer metal file, because this is actually a tool that I use and this is almost useless to me. But I'm going to go over that when I do my actual follow-up on the P series. I'm not the biggest fan of their new metal files. And then if you look right there, they included some tweezers, which I absolutely love. These are really, really handy. And now when I flip it to the other side, here are the rest of the tools. We have one of the extra tools that they give you, the spring-loaded scissors, which is exactly the same scissors on the P series. Right next to that, the awl with the extra small flathead, and the bottle opener with the Phillips right next to that. Now with the T4's design, they don't give you a little spot to put a lanyard. As you can see, there are no holes to do that. But like I said before, it's really nice that they give you this belt clip. I absolutely love it. Now here's one thing I was concerned about with this T4. Now, when you have it on the straight blade side, everything is really convenient because you have the lock disengage right there with your thumb. So boom, and then close it just like that, along with the other tools on this side. But when you flip it around to the other side and you want to use these tools, say for example, the scissors, and I mention this because they still say everything's one-handed operation, which is true deploying it. But right here, as you can see, if you're right-handed, there is no lock disengage right here. Okay, so now you kind of have to use your forefinger here, and it becomes kind of fumbly and very awkward. So what you have to do is hold it down and then push it with your thumb. And it's super awkward. I don't like it one bit. And I know why they couldn't put the disengage right here, because the straight blade takes up all that space on this side. They need that for the actual blade to sit in. So I completely understand why they couldn't put it there, because they need that space for all the mechanics and all the workings to make this work. But it still would have been nice to kind of rearrange this so I can unlock it from that side and not feel all goofy and fumbling around when I try to work these tools on the opposite side of the T4. It's a very small gripe, but it's just one thing that I noticed that I'm not too big of a fan of, even though I'll probably be carrying this more than the actual T2. Another thing I really wish Leatherman would do is change the steel. Just update the steel on your new Leathermans. 420HC is a nice steel. I know why you guys keep using it. It's easy to sharpen. It's very corrosive resistant. It doesn't rust. I mean, I work here in Buffalo, New York. It rains a lot, it snows a lot, so I definitely appreciate the metal that does not rust very easy, but I still would like to see an updated steel. I don't know, maybe it might be going a little overboard, maybe some S35 VN, but that might take the price of the Leatherman up through the roof. Because right now, these are pretty affordable. I mean, for 40 bucks and 60 bucks, very affordable, especially for a little multi-tool as quality as this. I mean, these feel solid. They definitely are delivering with this free series. But with the T series here, the tools, the smaller tools, feel more at home than on the bigger P series. So even though the tools are exactly the same size as the bigger Leatherman, they actually feel like they make more sense on these T series mini multi-tools. And one last thing I want to talk about with the T4, I showed you before on the T2, we have the little jimping notches here to kind of get a nice grip when that blade is deployed. But on this T4, when the blade is deployed, here's the back end. And we have this hard molded plastic back here. Like I said before, it is kind of textured, but it's pretty slippery. And there is no jimping on the back of the blade at all. So my thumb would have to rest right here when I'm working with this thing. And I don't know, it just feels like they could have added some notches right there and made it actually pretty nice to put your thumb there. And I'm just wondering why they didn't add those jimping notches right there to the back of the T4. It just seems odd. But overall, I'm extremely happy with what Leatherman's doing with the new free T-Series. I love these. I'm actually gonna be carrying this one every day. I'm just gonna put my old skeletal tool away and just carry the T4. With the T2, I'm sure it's gonna have its purpose, but I'm going to definitely add that pocket clip there because just stop not including them. It doesn't make sense to not include them. Just put them on. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of Leatherman's new free T2 and T4 multi-tools? But I can see this T4 being in everybody's pocket when you're not at work. It's pretty smart. All the everyday tools you would need are here. It's got a nice little blade to it. Magnetic architecture. It's super fast. I absolutely love it, and I think they knocked it out of the park again with the T-Series. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and go!